Imagine you could actually see Wi-Fi. Right now, invisible waves are moving through the room around you. They pass through your phone, laptop, television, and other devices, carrying messages, videos, photos, and information through the air. But how? How can something you can't see send a YouTube video to your phone almost instantly? Welcome to Science, where complicated science is made simple. And today, you're going to see what is actually happening every time you connect to Wi-Fi. First, there's something important to understand. Wi-Fi isn't the internet. The internet is the enormous network of computers and servers around the world. Wi-Fi is simply the wireless connection that lets your device communicate with a local network and, through your router and internet connection, reach that larger network. So, when you open a video on your phone has to send a request, but it can't simply shout that request through the room. Instead, it turns the information into digital data, and that data is ultimately represented using tiny patterns of ones and zeros. Your Wi-Fi system then has to transform that digital information into something that can travel through the air. That something is a radio wave. Yes, the same basic kind of electromagnetic radiation used by other wireless technologies. Your router contains a radio transmitter. Your phone contains a radio receiver. The router takes the digital information and uses it to control properties of a radio signal. That signal travels through the air. Your phone detects the changes in the signal and converts them back into digital information. And suddenly, the video appears on your screen. It sounds simple, but there is a huge problem. You're not the only person using radio waves. Your neighbors are using them. Other phones are using them. Smart TVs, laptops, watches, game consoles, and countless other devices are using wireless signals too. So how does your phone know which signal belongs to you? This is where Wi-Fi gets clever. Wi-Fi uses specific radio frequency bands and divides those bands into channels. Common Wi-Fi networks operate around 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz, while newer Wi-Fi systems can also use the 6 GHz band. Think of these bands like different highways. Instead of every device trying to drive down the exact same road, Wi-Fi can spread communication across different parts of the available spectrum. But even on the same highway, traffic can still happen. That's why Wi-Fi also has rules for deciding when devices should transmit. If dozens of devices started transmitting randomly at exactly the same time, their signals could interfere with one another. So, Wi-Fi devices listen to the wireless environment and coordinate access to the channel. And this becomes even more impressive when you have a crowded home. Imagine you're watching a movie while someone else is gaming. Another person is on a video call, and several smart devices are quietly communicating in the background. Your router has to constantly manage all of this traffic. And that's where newer generations of Wi-Fi become especially interesting. Wi-Fi has evolved dramatically over the years. Wi-Fi 6 improved the way many devices can share a network efficiently. Wi-Fi 6E expanded into the 6 GHz band. And Wi-Fi 7 pushes the technology even further, with features designed to provide wider channels, higher throughput, and more efficient use of multiple bands. One of the most interesting Wi-Fi 7 features is called multi-link operation. Instead of thinking of your connection as being stuck on one wireless road, imagine your device being able to use multiple available links that can help improve throughput and, more importantly, make connections more responsive and reliable when conditions change. But there's another hidden trick happening every time you use Wi-Fi. Your information isn't usually sent as one giant stream. It's broken into smaller pieces called packets. Imagine sending a giant book through the mail. Instead of putting the entire book into one enormous package, you divide it into many smaller packages. Each packet contains information about what it carries and where it needs to go. Your router helps direct those packets toward their destination. Eventually, your device receives enough of them to reconstruct the original information. That could be a photograph, a website, a voice message, or an entire high-definition video. And all of this is happening incredibly quickly. But Wi-Fi isn't magic. Walls, distance, furniture, interference, and even the layout of your home can affect the signal. That's why your Wi-Fi can be extremely fast next to the router, but frustratingly slow in another room. The signal doesn't simply disappear when you walk away. It becomes weaker and can encounter obstacles and interference. That's also why mesh Wi-Fi systems can be useful in larger homes. Instead of relying on one access point to cover everything, multiple connected points can work together to provide coverage across a larger area. And here's the strangest part. You usually can't see any of this happening. There are no visible wires connecting your phone to the router, no physical tunnel carrying your video through the air, just electromagnetic waves, carefully controlled by electronics, carrying enormous amounts of information around you. So the next time you connect to Wi-Fi, don't think of it as simply getting internet. Think about what is actually happening. Your phone is taking information, turning it into digital data, encoding that data into signals, transmitting those signals through radio waves, receiving packets from the router, and reconstructing them into something your eyes and ears can understand. All in fractions of a second, and the technology is still evolving. As Wi-Fi standards become more advanced, wireless networks are becoming faster, more efficient, and better at handling the growing number of devices surrounding you. So the next time someone says the internet is in the air, remember, it's not literally the internet floating around you. It's information being transformed into signals, transmitted through invisible electromagnetic waves, and transformed back again. And right now, while you're watching this video, that invisible process is probably happening around you. If this made something you use every day suddenly make sense, hit like. And if you want more simple explanations of the strange science hiding behind ordinary things, subscribe to Sarah Science. Then comment below what everyday technology should be explained next, because there's a lot more invisible science happening around you than you probably realize.